Man, it's a beautiful day out on the plains today. What up, y'all? Oh man, been a while since I didn't have to post about building the pond. I'm glad to be done with it. It's been about a week since I talked to you guys about anything else. At least it feels that way. So today, I'm gonna give you an update on all the projects. I don't have enough to make a Vic video or an Impala video or a Monte video or a van video or even a pond video, but I have enough to show you guys exactly what is going on around here and what we're up to and what the future plans are for this channel and what the content is going to be pushed towards. So I'm gonna set you guys up. I'm gonna walk down to the mailbox to go see if we got anything. I should have 50 feet of red wire and 50 feet of black wire at minimum to be doing positives and grounds for stuff like relays on the Impala. So, catch up with y'all in a second. Alright, I suppose the best way to do this is just to go down the line. So we'll take that over there and talk about that in a second. Here, we have my 460 Vic. I was laying in bed the other night, and I was thinking, that rear main seal going out, and I ran it for probably maybe a half hour. I'm wondering how much oil I've lost, because it was pretty prolific in the garage. So I went to check the oil, which looks exactly like this. And on that dipstick is nothing but fuel mixed in with a little bit of oil. And I got to thinking, well, why would that happen? Well, fuel's got to get past the rings. It's got to get into the oil pan. So something had to wash the cylinders. And I remembered trying to start it without the ICM when the ICM was dead in the distributor, and it would just pour fuel out the headers. Now, a couple of times I pulled the plugs and cleared the cylinders, trying to figure out what was going on with it. But I think the last time that I did it, I got extremely frustrated and just walked away. And I'm guessing I left the cylinders full of fuel, and it washed down into the oil pan, past the rings, past the pistons, blah, 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 blah. Now, with that being said, I fixed the ICM and I got it running again, and it runs fine, and it still has oil pressure, but I don't want to do any more damage than may have been done before, so we're going to go ahead and change the oil in it and put a new oil filter in it, and I'm going to go up to 1030 from 530. So that's the plan with this. I know it's got a rear main seal leak that has to be fixed, but I don't want to yank this motor until I get to drive it. My only concern right now, period, point blank, is the transmission in it. I know the rear end's good. I've had it at 114 miles an hour for 30 minutes straight. Literally does not care. I know the motor is good. I know the brakes are good. The drive shaft's going to be brand new. And the only unknown character is that transmission. Now, I was told that the RV that I pulled all this out of drove into my yard and was left here, which the motor was very, very clean when I pulled it apart, and that's why I didn't send it to the machine shop or anything. And it runs good, so I'm hoping the transmission follows. But I don't know. So we'll find out. And on top of that, I gotta figure out another battery, because Walmart batteries are apparently incapable of sitting, and I just don't understand why. I had the positive off of it, I had it grounded, it's sitting in a plastic box, Still, I can't do anything. The dog bowl that is on top of the carburetor and the air cleaner is just to keep snow out of it because we had a random snowstorm that I wasn't expecting, and I didn't have it wrapped up since we started it with Evan. And we move over to this guy. In the mail was red and black wire, exactly like I expected. Over here we have the mechanical fuel pump that we said we were going to go to, and it goes down there. But we don't have a fuel pump rod because whoever at the parts store that tried to help my client out gave them a push rod for oil push rod for valve stuff. I don't know the proper name. Maybe I do and I already said it. I don't know. By the way, it's not a fuel pump push rod, so I got into the distributor and the yellow wire was broken out of the connector, and then all the silicone that was in the connector was extremely hard. So I pretty much just pulled it out, and I told the client, you know, I'm gonna have 2 hours into tinkering with this thing, and it's gonna be band-aided back together, and it's $50 for another one on eBay. So we got another brand new distributor coming in. I told him that if he wanted to upgrade it like I did on mine and we did on the Monte, just to go ahead and buy the same ICM that we did, which is an Excel, some kind of high performance. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's what's going on in here. I still got to run grounds for the headlights and turn signals and such. I got to run grounds for the horns and mount them to the fender. I got to run some positives for the fans and the horns. I have relays coming that have built-in fuses in them, so I'm hoping to run those instead of an inline fuse to a relay just to make it a cleaner look. Then in here, up here we have the taillights, turn signals, fuel level. Yeah, this pink one is the fuel level. We've got the wiper switch, which doesn't come with instructions, and I'm having problems finding it, so if anybody knows where to get 2-post wiper diagram schematics, it's 2-post on the wiper in the engine bay, and it's 4-post here. So I gotta figure that one out. This is the ignition switch that is fully wired. This is the dimmer switch that is fully wired. This is the headlight switch that is fully wired. That is the gauges that are 90% wired. The steering column is completely wired. Almost all of it is completely wired and ready to go. I still got to put the starter solenoid wire on the starter and the main positive wire for the starter. Get the fuel pump in, get the new distributor in, and we should be ready to fire this thing. The client states that he has only seen it run a couple times and not for very long. I intend to run it up to temperature and have it running just fine, because I'm not playing that game and it's all brand new, so we don't have to worry about any of it. So that's what's going on with this one. Now let's go take a gander at the Monte. Over here on the Monte, we've been playing with a couple things. Replaced the fuel pressure regulator because the last one wouldn't read. I had no clue what it's at. And then we replaced the spark plug wires and put an Excel ICM in it. And yesterday I installed a brand new water pump. And we are pretty much good to go except for this spark plug wire right. Let me see if I can move some of this stuff out there. This spark plug wire right here is literally sitting on the steering column. Now, there's a couple solutions for that. You can go get a 90 boot, blah blah blah. I told them to order Excel header spark plugs. They're shorter. I'm hoping that it gets enough clearance to pull the solid part of the boot away from the steering column, and then I can zip tie the wire part of it up out of the way. Still haven't got to start this thing again yet. The spark plug wires that I pulled off of it were extremely hard, and some of them weren't even connected. I've been telling them that this was just a really big V6, and that's how I feel about it. We have a brand new alternator for it, but I'm not installing that until I install the wiring harness. And the wiring harness, there's the brand new alternator. Boom! That should look familiar to you guys, because we literally ordered the same exact one as we put in the Impala. The only difference between this one and that one is this one doesn't have any of the AC and heater stuff left in it because they shaved the firewall. So this one should be much easier. We should only have to be dealing with things over here, and there should literally be nothing over there. They made a solid attempt at a good start of a race car. You know, that's at least what it looks like. And I'm gonna clean it up a whole bunch. I'm sure we're gonna shed a whole lot of weight out of this thing. So that's what's going on with this. The van is still sitting over there, untouched. The motor is still sitting there, waiting for a timing set and a complete gasket set, which we have not acquired yet. And that pretty much brings the projects automotive-wise to an end. You guys probably aren't going to see me upload a whole lot for this week or the next coming week because I gotta go around the property and pick up trash piles like this, all of this, and all of this. And I gotta get that couch back inside into the living room. I gotta get all this cleaned up. Put this stuff out of here. Get the deck cleaned up. Get that trash can out of here. Get my backup generator running. Get this trash out of here. And just overall get my property clean again. Because the last 3 weeks have been absolutely savage on me having a clean house. I've been locked in my bedroom. So, with that being said, let's go hang out in the living room for a second. Something I thought I'd never say. It ain't perfect, but it's a living room again. My uranium glass collection that I collect with my wife. We'll have a discussion about that at some point. But I have the ability to sit here and think again, this is trash, this pile needs to be cleaned up. Like, literally, being locked in my bedroom destroyed my house. And I was just so focused on the pond that I didn't care about anything else. It was just really hard overall, man. It stressed my wife out. It stressed me out. I had everybody telling me, well, I bet you're having a blast. Nah, bro, it was not a blast. Like, I had ponds in the living room when I don't want ponds in my house. I couldn't just go somewhere. Like, have you ever been stuck in a bed for 3 weeks? Like, it sucks. I'd rather just sit on my couch. I had my couch in the bedroom, but, like, there was only maybe a foot between the bed and the couch, so my feet were all cramped. It just wasn't enjoyable. But it was worth it because my pond is done. Now the filtration is not great, and that's fine. I had a 135 gallon Oceanic and a 350 gallon 2x4 wood pond that I still own that was exactly the same as this one. And I had a 550 gallon Intex pool that is what caused this whole thing, because it failed on Christmas Eve. Like, that's what I got for Christmas, is a soaking wet floor and a destroyed fish room. I'm going to show you guys the fish room, but you're not going to be able to hear me because of the way the water is. Like I said, I condensed all 3 of the systems that I had, which left me with 12 canister filters. That's been a lot of the negativity that I've heard, is that I need to go to something else. I'm going to have a video coming out on how disappointed I am in the fish community in general, and pretty much just the entire world, because I'm very disappointed in the world that we live in right now. But I didn't get the opportunity to build the filters that I wanted. I wanted to have 3 brute trash cans completely filled to the brim of lava rock, cycled and ready to go, running on my 550, so that when I built this pond in April, like I originally planned to, I could just swap everything over and I wouldn't have this chaos that I have. Right now it is 12 canister filters fed into 4 or 5 gallon buckets full of lava rock, and that is how it's going to be for a little while. This pond and the room remodel, everything all together, cost me about $2,500. So I gotta sit back and heal a little bit financially and physically, because it was very straining. That thing weighs 750 pounds and is 92 square feet that you're trying to move around. And then you have the mental. I don't know if you guys know what big tank anxiety is, but it's a real thing. You go to set up a big fish tank and you have anxiety on whether it's going to have issues or it's going to leak or if it's going to hold, blah, blah, blah. So there's things like that. We immediately went through teething issues. Like a hose didn't get properly connected to a bucket and I flooded my room, which is perfectly fine. That's why we pulled the carpet and the insulation out of it. It dried up perfectly fine. No worries at all. I've had it running for about 48 hours now without issue. Everything's doing great. The alligator gar pushed the divider one time, but they didn't get to move it very far. I'm just gonna go buy some more bricks so they can't move it at all. The Oscars are bickering on either side of the divider, but they're not able to hurt each other, and they're still eating, so that's good. Everything else is good to go. Everybody transferred over. I didn't lose anybody in the last 3 weeks, so we're good to go. I gotta clean it in there, so please forgive the mess. But let's go have a look-see. Now the plan is to go down and buy brute trash cans and uniseals, and then go down to Harbor Freight and buy a 2,500 gallon per hour pump and take some of the canisters offline, how many ever we feel that we need, that we can, and then just run the trash can, which I will show you guys how to set up, and then slowly build another one, and then build another one. And the only thing that I'll have is 3 brute trash cans filled with lava rock topped with polyfill, and that'll be it. Now I have the pond running at halfway full right now, and a lot of people are asking, well, why'd you build that big if you were only going to run it halfway full? Well, the reason for that is I don't need to fill it. I don't need that much water volume. Right now it's at like 700 gallons, which is perfectly fine, and it's crazy filtered, and I have 7 sponges going with an industrial air pump. It's solid, and when my fish start getting bigger and bigger and bigger, I can add water volume to it to dissipate the nitrates and stuff. So that's why. And then when it gets filled to the top, I designed it to be 6 inches down. It was never ever designed to be full. Silly camera. Yeah, figure your stuff out. It was never designed to be full, so it'll be 6 inches down when it's completely full. My cat's destroying my house. And then I will put a baseball backstop net on top of it, and it'll be held down by easy off hooks. So if the fish decide that they want to jump, they can jump, and it's going to get, that cap. And it's going to get caught on the baseball net, which is only like 1 inch squares. and it's going to push it right back down because it's going to be super tight, and it's designed to stop baseballs, so it's going to stop my fish just fine. I've had people ask me if I'm willing to take in fish. The most respectful thing I can say is no, and I just leave it at that. The reason behind that is because I have $2,500 in just the fish room. I have another $1,000 in canisters. I have another $2,000 plus in fish. Like, that's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that I have to risk to take in your fish that you didn't think about and you didn't make a wise decision on, that may have ick. Well, it definitely has ick. All fish have ick. It's just whether it's its immune system is lacking enough for it to affect it. That is my understanding of it. Your fish could come in with a fungus. Your fish could come in with parasites. And like, treating 700 to 1,400 gallons with chemicals is not a cheap task. I am taking in a tiger shovelnose this weekend that we are trading for one of my alligator gar. And the only reason I'm willing to do that is because I know the gentleman, and I've known the gentleman, and I've seen the tiger shovelnose, etc. I know what I'm getting myself into. So we're good on that. Gonna do a feeding tonight, and that'll probably end off the video. Go away, silly cat. That'll end off the video, and then whatever project we get ourselves into next, I will let you guys know. I gotta pay back $200 that I owe my wife that she let me borrow to finish the pond, which is not a big thing. It's not like she's stressing it or anything. It's just a respect thing for me. And then as soon as I do that, I gotta finish the pond room, which is getting rid of all those canisters because I can't open the door right now, and we designed it to where the door could be open, so that's not okay. And then after that, we're gonna go out here and work on the 460 Vic. We're gonna get the drive shaft in it now that that bill is taken care of and gone, and I don't have to worry about it for a very, 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 very long time. And do the oil change on it like we discussed, and then take it out for its first drive. And we're gonna take it into the garage, and we're gonna yank the motor, the tranny, and set it on the floor, do the rear main seal, probably do head gaskets, anything else that we can think of, and then we're going to put a painless wiring harness in it, put a horn back in it, put carpet back in it, and windshield wipers, etc. All the things that we have to for the rules for race week. Me, Taylor, and Evan will be at race week 2022. I hope to see you guys there. Have fun watching the feeding tonight. I hope you guys have a great day, and God bless. And if I don't get to see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Alright guys. Have a good night and God bless. Bye.